Hello Primary 4s, welcome to Thursday's grammar video. Today we're going to be focusing on turning singular nouns into plural nouns. Good luck with your job, and if you've got any questions, just see myself or Miss Gwilym on Teams. See you next time. For today's grammar lesson in Primary 4, we are going to be focusing on making nouns plural by adding an S at the end, an ES or an IES. So let's start by having a look at what singular and plural means. So the word singular means just one of something. For example, a house or a boy. There's only one house or one boy. The word plural means more than one of something. For example, houses or boys. So houses means there's more than one house. Boys, with the S at the end, also means there's more than one boy. The word singular is very similar to single. This can help us to remember the meanings of singular and plural. When we make a singular noun into a plural noun, the spelling at the end of the noun changes. So house, for example, we add an S at the end. So house, the spelling of house changes when we make it plural, we just add an S at the end. Boy, again, we just add an S at the end. For most nouns, S or ES is added to the end of the noun, or sometimes a Y is replaced with IES. And we're going to have a look at when to use these. Deciding which plural spelling to use is the tricky part. The rest of this PowerPoint and video explains when to use the different spellings. When we're simply just adding S to the end to make it plural, to make most nouns plural, we simply add an S to the end of the word. For example, zebra becomes zebras. Pea becomes peas. Footballer becomes footballers. Log would become logs. So all of these ones, we simply just add an S to the end of the singular noun to make it a plural noun. Sometimes we have to add an ES. If the noun ends in a sh, one S or two S's, X, two Z's or Z, most of the time we add ES. So sandwich, the singular noun sandwich, ends with a ch sound. So we add an ES. Glass, the singular noun glass, ends in a double S. So we add ES. Bus, the singular noun bus, adds an S. So we add ES to make it buses. Box, the singular noun box, ends in an X. So we add ES to make it boxes. Sometimes we have to decide whether we add an S or an IES. So if the noun ends in a vowel, so a vowel is A, E, I, O, or U, and a Y, most of the time we add S. So if the last two letters are a vowel and then a Y, we just add S. However, if the noun ends in a consonant, which is any other alphabet letter apart from a vowel, and a Y, most of the time we replace Y with IES. So if it ends with a consonant, then a Y, we add IES. So here is an example. Baby ends in a Y, but we have to look at the letter before the Y, which is B, and we have to decide whether B is a vowel or a consonant. We know it's not a vowel, so it must be a consonant. So we change the Y to IES for babies. Like that. Key. Let's have a look at the word key. Now we know that key ends in a Y, but we have to look at the letter before the Y. So before the Y, we have an E. We have to decide whether E is a vowel, and it is one of our vowels in the alphabet. So we simply just add an S to make it keys. So we don't need to add the IES. One to look out for is when we have a word that ends with an F. So the English language is complicated and there are some exceptions to these plural rules. One exception to look out for is if nouns end in F or FE. These become VES when they are made into plurals. So for example, loaf ends with an F, so we change to make it plural, we add VES, we get rid of the F. Like that. LOAVES, loaves. So let's have a look at some of these words and changing them from singular to plural. So loaves we've spoken about comes VES. Foot becomes feet, that's an exception to the rule. Pair becomes pairs, we simply add an S. Wife, we add VES, it's an exception to the rule as well. Babies is IES. Sheep is the same, it stays the same, it's an exception to the rule, so we have sheep. Brush becomes brushes with the ES because it ends in a sh. And apple, we simply just add an S. So there are some exceptions of the rule to look out for. Today we're just focusing on adding S, ES, or IES. And I'm going to go over some more examples to help you with your grammar work this morning.
We're going to look at plurals in a bit more detail. So, if the word, the noun, ends in ch, sh, double S, single S, Z, double Z, or X, we add an ES. If a word ends with a consonant, then a Y, lose the Y and add IES. And then most of our ones end with just an S. So let's have a look at these 6 examples. So number 1, party. So we've got to look at the end of the word and it ends with a Y. And before the Y, we have T, which is in a consonant. So we drop the Y and add IES, like that. The next word is beach, and we're writing beaches. Now, beaches ends with a ch, and if it ends with a ch, we add an ES. So we write beach, and then we add an ES. The next one is teacher. Now, teacher doesn't end with a Y, it doesn't end in ch, sh, s, z, or x, so we just simply add an S for the plural, teachers. Let's look at train, and we're going to make it trains. So, train doesn't end in a Y, it doesn't end in ch, sh, s, z, or x, so we simply add an S to make it trains. The next one is cherry. So we've got to look at cherry, it ends in a Y, and before the Y we have an R, which is a consonant, so we drop the Y and we add IES for cherries. And that's our plural. And the last one, bush. Doesn't end in a Y, doesn't end in a ch, but it ends in a sh. So we add an ES for bushes. And that is how we change the spelling and add letters to make singular nouns into plural nouns. Good luck with your work, boys and girls, on your plurals this morning. And if you have any questions, see myself or Miss Gwilym on Teams, and I will see you next time. Bye, Primary 4.